So I'm on break, working from home today, and I'm just reflecting on how last year was like one of the worst years of my life. And I'm only 28, and I have had many worst years of my life. And also, I am not topless. I am wearing a tube top. Whoever's watching for that on this platform, don't worry. This is going to be like a double post on my regular page and my music based page. So for those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Carla. For all intents and purposes, you can call me Carly. Sometimes I play bass. Up until very recently, up until that of last year, I was a teacher. And I had some pretty messed up experiences, especially the last year, 2024. Last year in particular, I had the last two schools that I worked at were pretty terrible experiences. One was a high school, a newly established high school that just never got its footing. It never got consistent staff. I was a replacement teacher hired by a replacement principal. Lots of stuff happened at that high school. They didn't renew my contract at the end of the year. They wanted to hire a whole new staff, and that was that. I was heartbroken. Then in a mad rush to find another job before the summer was over, I really tried really hard to look for other jobs outside of education, but being as I have like 2 degrees in education, it was easier to just go into school because they need help, clearly. Then I started working at this preschool, and it was, honestly, it started out really good. I was really positive about it. Tried to be really positive about it. Then I just got back-to-back sick. They kept increasing my class numbers. A whole bunch of other things, and so that ended with me with an injured leg that I got on the job, sick with pneumonia, recuperating and reeling from a double murder that had happened in my family at the time as well. It was a lot. There was a lot going on. I had to make the painful decision of being like, hey, I'm still pretty messed up from pneumonia a month later. And, I hurt my leg here a couple of months ago, and that's still not feeling great. And there's just a whole bunch of stuff going on in my life right now, so I don't think I should be in school right now. So I left that, and things were looking pretty dire in December. I think like a week after, maybe 2 weeks after I quit that school, I got in a car accident and suddenly had no car. So essentially 2 months out of work, no paycheck, no car, reeling with back-to-back respiratory illnesses, pretty moderate injury on my leg, situations happening with my family. It was a miracle I made it out of 2024 alive by my own doing. Then maybe 2 days before the new year, I get a call from my current job that, I got hired. I interviewed for them like maybe a month or so prior to me leaving the school and stuff. And they got back to me and were like, hey, you can start like the second week of January. And I was like, okay, bet. And it's just been really great. I just got approved for partial work from home a couple weeks ago, so I've been really enjoying that. In the meantime, I've discovered that the last 2 schools that I work for are now closed as of what is today, June 30th. They're closed. Of course, a school closing is not great unless the school itself wasn't great, which I could definitely say for one of those schools, it wasn't great and they shouldn't have been open. But it's, I'm not over here like, oh yes, hallelujah. It's really sad. I still have much sadness over not being able to make teaching work, or it didn't work out for me. I really, ever since middle school, was like, I want to be a teacher. And I did it. And at least I can say I did it. I went to school, spent 10 years of my life pursuing two degrees, one of them double major, working pre-K through 12. I lived my dream, and I just woke up. The dream's over. I couldn't tell you what I learned from all of this. I mean, I definitely didn't learn just one thing. 5 months ago, I definitely would have been like, none of this had to happen. This was all fucking bullshit. This is just life being life. All I know is that I'm sitting here 6 months later in a so much better mental space, especially most importantly, but physically feeling better. I'm at a job that I feel really great at. And the last two schools that I worked at that I feel like really fucked me over are now closed. And even now, like the alma mater where I got my teaching degree from is now also closed as of this year. Yeah, I don't know. I have no moral or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Teaching was definitely a wild ride. I would definitely compare it to, not to be too drastic, being in a cult, or to be more relatable, being in a really toxic, abusive relationship, which unfortunately I have some practice in. But yeah, I guess to make this helpful to anyone else who might be watching this, trust your gut. Fuck these jobs. They don't give a fuck about you. Like, I don't know. I guess those are the two most important things. Trust your gut and fuck these jobs. They don't care. So this is also going on my music page. I do intend to get back into posting bass covers and stuff like that. Like, I literally play every day, but whatever it takes to pick up your phone, sit up a nice little corner, record and make sure it all sounds nice. Like, I get too caught up in the details, and also life just be lifing, and I don't be feeling like doing that shit. But I'm gonna really make an effort to do it now since I have a lot more free time. That's another thing. As a teacher, I had to work a second job, a lot of like 12-hour days, because the one paycheck I was getting from the school is not enough. But I have more free time to do a whole bunch of bullshit, so I'm gonna try and do it. So stay tuned. But otherwise, I hope you are having a good day, and if you're not, bitch, there's always tomorrow.